I sat there, Spencer. Now, I like to follow Spencer because it's my dad's name, so it's a good omen, I guess. My dad used to like to embarrass me when I introduced him to like a new girlfriend or a friend. He'd say, Chris used to say he wanted to watch for Christmas, so he'd say we let him. So anybody here like to, everybody probably like to travel or used to travel? Now, when I travel, like I'm sure you've noticed this phenomenon that's known as the ugly American. Now, that's not derogatory from my frame of mind because like I don't think it's actually a bad thing. But for example, one time I was down in Mexico and sitting at a bar, and this guy sitting next to me named Dave. Dave says, "Chris, where are you from?" I said, "I'm from Canada." He says, "What do you think of Obama?" And I said, "Well, Obama." Well, I didn't really say much because I learned one thing that if you want to avoid an argument, you avoid religion, you avoid politics, then you should be okay. So I give him a quick little answer that's going to avoid any sort of fight. But he likes my answer, so he gets close to me and we start talking, we're drinking beer, we're having a good time. And then he gets to this part of the conversation where he says, my son comes home the other day, he shows me this permission slip. And I fill out the permission slip for his trip. And I notice there's some writing on the back, he flips it over and he says, Spanish. Can you believe that? Spanish. He goes, what the fuck is that? He goes, would you put up with that in Canada? I said, well, we're a bilingual country, you know, we speak French, we speak English, we got 2 French-speaking provinces. And he goes, are you fucking kidding me? In Canada, you would put up with that? I said, no, it's really not a problem. We're bilingual, we love each other, it's really good. And he goes, I don't know. He's like, love each other, it's good, it's nice, he knows, but if you come to my country, I want you to speak my language. So I think, that's kind of a bizarre thing to say. And he just looks at me right in the eye and goes, you come to my country, you speak my language. And we're in Mexico. And he slammed his fist on the car and told me to speak my language. Well, there's another time, me and a friend of ours, we go to Quebec City to go to this big music festival. And it's a road trip, we're having a good time. And like any good road trip, you stop halfway, you fill your mouth full of magic mushrooms, and you drive as fast as you can to where you're going. And when we get where we're going, you can't sleep because you ate as many magic mushrooms as you can put in yourself. So you lay on the grass, you look at the clouds, you enjoy the beautiful scenery. And then you make it back into town to make up this big music festival you come to see. And we just want to hide in the shade. You know, we're sweating, we're still tripping and trying to keep composure. And we sit down at this bar, we get a pitcher of some beer, and we're going to pay for the beer. There's a guy at the bar trying to pay for his beer. And we come in the middle of the conversation, he's saying to the waitress, what do you mean you don't take American? I'm American. She's like, well, this is Canada, sir, and we take Canadian. He's like, I get that, but I'm American, I'm not Canadian. I'm American, I pay with American, don't you understand? And he's getting really agitated, right? She's going like, sir, you have to go to the bank, it's across the road, get some money, and he can pay for your beer. So he turns to us and he goes, got change? For American? I'm American. Please. No. So he goes around the bar, change for American. He doesn't get what he's looking for. But anyway, so I keep things interesting. I like to fuck with people every once in a while. It's good to keep you on the toes. That's what your head been. So like one time, a buddy of mine, we got a bunch of these green plants laying around, and we used up all the good stuff. We had some shitty stuff laying around, so we go to the local farm supply and get a big jug of isopropyl alcohol, right? And isopropyl alcohol is somewhat of a controlled solvent, so you got to be careful where and when you're buying it. And so as we're going to the cashier, to avoid an awkward line of questioning about what are you doing with this rubbing alcohol, I look her in the eye and say, do you think this is enough to get me and my buddy drunk? And we're talking a gallon of pure rubbing alcohol. Right? And she goes from being like, looking at me like, what the fuck is this, to, oh, well, it's getting drunk. So full well knowing that bottle would probably kill me and my friends several times over. That's okay. But making some drugs out of that alcohol, that's no good. Or the other day, I'm at the grocery store, and I'm buying a box of tampons. Now when a guy buys a box of tampons, it's nerve-wracking, Like, it's like when you buy your first box of condoms or something. You feel awkward, when you're standing in line, And you're going like, and like our buddy earlier, you judge people based on their groceries, right? And you're looking, you're going, well, you know, what the fuck does he need tampons for? Now I know nobody gives a shit. The cashier doesn't care who the fuck's buying tampons. But in my own head, I'm making up a scenario when she's judging me. She's some sort of creep, you know. And so, like any other insecure guy, to avoid another line of questioning that probably isn't even going to happen, I look her in the eye and say, my girlfriend has had her first period. All right. Now, there's one thing I find confusing. I sort of hate. Well, not hate. I just like it. I think it's confusing. There's always this awareness going on. You got to be aware of cancer, aware of women's abuse, aware of heart and stroke. Things we're all aware of. We don't need to be made aware. We're hitting the head every day with this awareness. Now, I want to get behind something that truly is something we should be more aware of, that it's going to affect every community in this country, in this world. You ask any doctor, any triage nurse about midnight visits to the ER, and it happens every night, maybe not every night, but it happens a lot. Somebody comes walking in with something stuck in their ass. Now, somebody needs to be made aware of the butt plug. I'm sure you've all heard of a butt plug, right? So the butt plug is made so it doesn't get stuck in your ass. So think about how much money our government wastes every night on removing Barbie dolls, jars of pickles, from anciently ignorant, curious crusaders who got lost in a sweaty fuck fest and ended up in the waiting room in the middle of the night. All right, guys, I just want to say one more thing before I go. It's very important to be careful about how you affect everybody around you. We're all a community, we're all one, we're all symbiotic. It's very important to make small, minute adjustments to maybe even change everybody's life positively. So I like to do things like leave cigarettes where children can find them. Thank you very much.
Give it up for Chris, also a first timer tonight. Are you having fun so far?